Well, hello, everyone. This is Lynn Hamilton, your lead instructor here at Samson Properties, to bring you the session today on learning trails in Q&A. We're going to be talking about the value that JumpStart, specifically session 2, brings to our agents. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right on in. No pun intended. All right. So we've already talked last week about session 1 and the value that it brings. Obviously, JumpStart is designed to be watched in order, but more important, it is designed to be executed in order. So without putting the pieces of the puzzle together, if you will, you got nothing to build on. And it is frustrating when an agent comes back and says, "Oh, I listened to it, but I didn't do any of the tasks." Well, I got nothing. I can't put a roof on a house that doesn't have the walls up or to have the foundation up. So let's make sure that we've got all of these pieces together in order for you. So from Jumpstart Session 1, as a quick reminder, here is the best way to go through any and all of these sessions. First thing you want to do is, as you listen to it, stop the recording, do the task, and then come back and pick up where you left off. So listen, stop, and do. Now, if you're a seasoned agent and think, well, I've probably already done that, here's the best way to handle that. Listen to it, stop, and say, okay, first off, did I know that? Have I done it? How well have I done it? Can I do it any better or make it any better? And if not, fix it. And if you are, move on to the next. We know that you've got that piece of the puzzle in place and ready to sustain and support the business as we build it up. So it's an easy way to do it. So when we get to, like in session 1, we're talking about your voicemail message, stop. Go play your voicemail message and say, "Hey, does that sound good? Does it sound like I'm just, yeah, excited to answer the phone? Or is it upbeat and positive? Is it current? Is it whatever?" Listen to it. Could you make it any better? And if not, say, "You know what? It's good. On to the next task." That is your best way to handle it. So now that we're transitioning and have gotten everything done from session 1, let's move into the pieces of the puzzle that fall into session 2. So in session 2, we're going to talk about the biggest takeaway to this one is scheduling and time blocking. Now, we've already determined that you cannot control time. Time is going to, you cannot say, "Okay, I only want 14 hours today, but later in the week, I'm going to need, 30 hours in a day because I got a lot to do on Saturday." It doesn't work like that. You get 24 hours, you need to block off. I also suggest, if you have not determined your ebb and flow, we all have it. When is your peak time? When is your downtime? When is your afternoon lull that you would say, "I'd love to just curl up and take a quick nap"? Know when those peaks and valleys are within your body clock, shall we say, because you do not want to take on a major task or a major project. Let's say if it's afternoon between 2 and 3 that you're at your low. That's not the time, the most effective time to do a major project or learning component or anything else. So just know where your ebb and flow is. Now, if you're a morning person and you say 7 to 8 o'clock, man, I am rocking, I can tackle the world, then take advantage of that. If you love seeing the sun come up, there you go. Now, I believe that if God wanted me to enjoy and see the sun come up, he put it later in the day for me. But give me a full moon, I'll rock until midnight. So just know where your ebb and flow is and make sure that you are not fighting it too much, that you let it work with you, not against you. Okay. All right. So in your time blocking, think back for a minute when you worked for another company. They told you what time to arrive, what your morning tasks typically were, what time you took a break, what your afternoon tasks were, what time you took the afternoon break, what time you wrapped it up, what time you finished. And that was life. That was what you did. So you want to make sure that as you are now in your own business, and are hoping to build a stronger business, you let some of that roll over and you learn to manage yourself just a little bit. So hopefully that's going to help. In session 2, again, it's a lot about time blocking. Why is that important? What's the mindset that goes with time blocking? It's going to actually allow you to be more effective, more efficient, because you're going to say, okay, I need to work on, let's take the buyer consultation. I need to work on that. I'm going to give me an hour on Friday from 11 to 12. I need to make sure that I've, you know, got the handout so I can customize it. Do I need to listen to it before? Do I understand which pages have the punch that I need to make sure that we cover? Is there anything else that I need to know in order to really perfect and do a fantastic buyer consultation? Have it ready. Have it ready. And then you can tackle in with full focus to get that done. If you're thinking, oh, I'll take a few minutes here, a few minutes there, our brains aren't that good. We need to have blocking and time blocking down. So there are some tips there. The other thing we talk about heavily in Jumpstart Session 2 is mindset. Now, life is going to dish out stuff that we don't get to vote on. And we can think we're on top of the world one minute and it all comes crashing down the next. So make sure as you are putting your business together, you realize that you need to be able to have a full, joyful cup to pour from. And what does that mean? Um, do you have your affirmations? Are you not ready to write affirmations? That's okay. We've given them to you in the Jumpstart Session 2. We've given you a fun little, I think it was a Tony Robbins quiz that you list the people that you spend time with, and then you rate them a plus, an equal, or a minus. Why are you spending time with the minuses if they suck the life out of you? Now, if they're a family or extended family, and sometimes you just have to, you got no choice. But at least you acknowledge that that person has a habit of sucking the life out of you. So you want to make sure that if you do have to engage with them or when you engage with them, you got your barrier around you. You're armed and you're ready to conquer and just let it bounce off you. But by knowing that as well is I'm going to say the fun that comes with it. So make sure you take that little quiz as well when you go through it. But Jumpstart Session 2 again is building the foundational pieces that we need to make sure are in place so that we can build up from there. So that's going to wrap this down. Go back and listen to Jumpstart Session 2. Stop. Ask yourself, have I done this? Am I doing this? How well am I doing it? Can I do it better? And move on to the next. So if you are looking at your week, obviously in 1, you determined when you wanted to work. Again, I don't care if it's 5 hours a week. I don't care if it's 10. I don't care if it's 20. I don't care if it's 30. When are you working on your business? And then we've given you the list of things that you need to continually be working on. When are you blocking that time off to do it? Is it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Is it Tuesday, as some like to call it, texting and tech Tuesday? Do you like to send out your text messages on Tuesday and then take an hour to learn something tech related? Do you need to master and understand how to use Real Scout? Do you need to understand how to let your client know that you're going to connect them with your MLS access through a program called Real Scout? That way they're not searching online, because guess what happens? They search online with Zillow, Realtor, or any of these other platforms. What is popping up are other agents who are buying the leads. This is where it goes back to Casey saying, we need to educate the consumer on how the business of real estate works. So, bonus here, one of the things you need to be able to be comfortable in saying is, hey, Mr. Buyer, let me go ahead and give you access to my MLS. It's through a program called Real Scout. And the reason I'm doing that is so you are not being sent on a wild goose chase through other platforms that the minute you click on anything, something that most consumers don't know is your information is being sold off to multiple agents to follow up with you. And you start getting the inquiries of, so I hear you want to see this property, or what can I help you with? And you're going, leave me alone. That's why. So I'm gonna protect you from all that. I'm gonna make sure you have access to my MLS through Real Scout. And that way I can also see what you're looking at and which ones you like. There you go. Now, if you do not know how to say that, that might be something you want to learn how to say. If you do not know how to use Real Scout, that would be an ideal time to look at your schedule, block 30 to 45 minutes off to learn about Real Scout. Download the app, put yourself in there as a potential client, and see what happens. See how it works, see how it interacts with the consumer. Then you're more apt to go, hey, you know what? This is really a convenient tool. Let's do it. Whether it's First Up, whether it's Real Scout, whether it's something from your website, whether it's your blog, whether it's through Bright MLS. There's all kinds of tools that are out there that once we learn how to use them, little at a time, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time, then it makes your life a whole lot easier, more effective, more efficient, and more productive and less stressful. So if Tech Tuesday is your thing, block off an hour. What's the one tech thing that you're going to look into and get better at? One at a time. There you go. All right. So moving into obviously that, moving into your mindset, those are all important tools that and pieces of your puzzle, if you will, that we need to have in place so that we can build on and build up from there. Now, as you're getting ready to go into Jumpstart session 3, got to have those pieces from 1 and 2 in place. So now we can start rocking and rolling. So with that, go back, listen to Jumpstart session 2. Enjoy it. Stop. Do the task. Ask yourself, do I know, have I done it? Is it in good shape? Do I need to do it again? One of the things that you'll definitely want to start with is make sure that the Monday morning 10:30 boost call is on your calendar, and then grab your phone and set an alarm to go off 10 minutes prior to class. You should have these Thursday calls, the 1 o'clock and the 2:30, on your calendar with an alarm on your phone set to go off 10 minutes before each session. Okay. If that's not happening, stop and get it done. The third Wednesday of the month, we have sales meetings. They're done by Zoom now. Make sure that's on your calendar. Make sure that if you're wanting or haven't experienced Coffee with Casey or the mastermind groups or any of the other amazing stuff that Samson has to offer, stop. Find out when it is. Put it on your calendar. Set an alarm and experience it. You will then know which ones you need to make sure that you continue with and keep up with. So there you have it. All right, my friends, I'm going to let you go. I will see you in our next session. See you in class. Bye for now.